All right, this is probably my last video of the day, and this is gun control. This topic it's just unbelievable to me how ignorant the American people are. And now, I'm not saying all the American people are ignorant, but most of them are. And then it goes in to show you people who do not do their research and the depth of reading, comprehension, and just basic common sense. These people, and I'm going to stay on the liberals again. This is like my third video against the liberals, trying to make you think I'm a Republican or a conservative, and I'm not. I'm a libertarian. But this thing is interesting to me, this whole gun debate. People who side with the government regarding this issue and taking guns away from law-abiding citizens. They use emotion to prove their point because they can't use reason and logic. And this is very, very dangerous. Very dangerous when you use emotion over intellect. Because what happens is that you can justify anything based upon how you feel. And then not only that, feelings change. They're not rock solid. Today I feel one way about something else and I can feel another way about another thing. But anyway, I don't want to digress. But gun control. First thing against you people talking about the only people that should have these weapons are the military and the police. What you're saying without knowing that you're saying it because you're ignorant, what you're saying is that the government and the police department should have a monopoly on force. Look at not just, I'm blaming Barack Obama, I'm talking about all the presidents, from Lincoln all the way to today. Government has no problem with force. They have no issue with killing people, and not even killing people over moral issues. They'll kill people over oil, lithium, opium, marijuana, anything. So the people who side with the government, you don't even understand that what you're saying is you like force. The only question is that who can administer the force? So you're not righteous by saying, oh, well, let's take the guns out of law-abiding citizens' hands and then give it to the government. Because the government exercises force every single day. Let me give you an example. Libya, Yemen, Pakistan. I can go on and on. Iraq, Syria, the police state that's developed here and has been for a while. The government doesn't mind killing people. Oh, they don't mind using, if you don't agree with the government, they don't mind killing you. So the government has no problem with killing people. So Americans believe, just like other people in other countries, and then they got their guns taken away and they realize that the government is just as corrupt as any other government that preceded it. So the people who side with the government say, well, they're the only ones that should have guns. Let me tell you what the founders understood. And you can claim that they slave owners all you want, and a lot of that's true, but it still doesn't take away from the fact. This is what the founders understood, that man has a problem. That's what they understood. And they knew that when you create a document, you must take man out of the equation. That's the brilliance of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. The brilliance of it is that you must limit man's participation in legislation. You must let people decide for themselves and not a king, a monarch, or anyone else. And what you find is that the Second Amendment was a check on government. It wasn't for hunting. It wasn't for sport. It was a check against government. Let me give you an example. I was a police officer for 7 years. And excuse me. I remember the first time I went to some place and we had a large gathering. And we had 10 or 20 officers out there. And just as a young cat, I used to think to myself, I'm saying to myself that control is an illusion. Control is an illusion. At any point, all these people, if they charged us, even being unarmed, they could overwhelm us and kill us. Control is an illusion. And so this is what the founders understood. They understood that the people, if they banded together, it didn't matter whether the government that you were against had automatic weapons, they had chemical weapons, atomic bombs, whatever. They can have all this stuff. But they knew that if they had the majority of the people, or they had enough people, put it that way, that they could not overwhelm the people. They knew that. The people have abdicated their responsibility and they have given up their power. And so the government, they say this, they go, well, even police department, they say, well, as long as they can isolate a group of people, like what they do is they'll take 9 or 10 or 12, 15 people and kick in a door someplace, right? And they can overwhelm 1 or 2 people. And what it does, it scares the hell out of everyone else. So they go, I'm just as scared of the police, I'm afraid. But if the police bring 15 people armed to the party, and you bring 20 people armed to the party, that's a whole different ball game. Now, does the police have force then? Can they have overwhelming force? No, they can't have overwhelming. So that is the thing. And remember what Martin Luther King said, which is true. He says, an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. What he was trying to say is that when we, the majority, allow, talking about the people, when we, a majority, allow an injustice to occur to someone who is a minority, one day it's going to come back home to haunt us. And this is what has happened. For years, black people have been getting the hell beat out of them here in America. And a lot of white folks really didn't care that much because they felt as though they were criminals. They never thought that a lot of these people could be innocent or anything. They just said, hey, they're down there they're selling their drugs, they're doing with the prostitution, whatever. They're doing this. Now, they never thought about a violation of people's rights. Now, since I remember I saw that thing on television, they show these kids who were protesting and these cops just walk up and spray mace. They're sitting there just hands folded protesting, which they have the right to do. It was a bunch of white kids, and they just hosing them down with mace. You see, when it comes, now chicken's coming home to roost. This is what Malcolm X is talking about. Now, since this came home to white folks, now we about to see if people are actually going to respond. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not prejudiced at all. All I'm doing is just stating the facts, right? I'm saying that there are a lot of things that happen and we allow it in a society. One day it's going to come home to roost. That's what Martin Luther King was trying to say, that an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And the majority should not let injustices occur anywhere. Now, there are ways that you could do that. In America today, what we do is that we try to say we're doing humanitarian things by arming other people and killing other people and say, oh, we're not allowing this injustice. But see, the fact of the matter is that America is not interested in justice. They're interested in overthrowing countries so that we can go install a person that we want who's going to be more friendly to corporations and businesses, so we can steal their oil, we can steal the lithium, we can steal the opium, we can steal the copper, we can steal all that stuff. And that's the only thing America is interested in. But people out there, and I appeal to my people who say that they are Christians or believers, either you believe this. The Bible says, if you live by the sword, you will die by the sword. Be not deceived, for God is not mocked, for every man shall reap what he sows. Either you believe that or you don't. Now, if you believe that, if you accept that, then you must understand that America will fall. If you believe that, even if you're American, even if you love this country, it's not about anarchy, it's not trying to throw over. If you are a Christian, either you believe that or you don't believe that. Now, I know there are Christians that are always trying to, put Republicans in or put Democrats in to try to, what they think is, try to make people do what you don't want them to do. But the fact of the matter is that either you believe that or you don't. See, I happen to believe that. All through history, we see that no one has ever done anything against God and gotten away with it. Jesus told Peter that if you live by the sword, you will die by the sword. So it doesn't matter whether or not it's a revolution by the American people or another country comes and invade us or we just kill ourselves from within. The fact of the matter is that America will fall if you believe that. Now, if you don't believe that, then you believe that America can continue this imperialistic position and nothing will ever happen. Either you believe that. And what I'm saying is that that's not going to happen. The fact of it is that Americans will reap what they sow. They can put their head in the sand, but the fact of the matter is that we shall reap what we sow.